Hi everyone, welcome back to Houseplant Essentials. I'm Bryce. Thanks for being with me today. Alrighty, in this video today, I'm going to be talking to you about a family of plants called Hoya. Yes, I absolutely love Hoya. I've really come to adore them. It's funny, the way my collection started out was last June, right around my birthday. It was right after my birthday. I went to a local plant shop and I went in, I was looking for plants, and she wanted to help me, so I let her, and she kind of pointed me in the direction of Hoya. And it's so funny because the way she described Hoya, they were, in her words, an upgraded pothos. Right, yeah. I didn't know what to say except, sure, yeah, Anyway, long story short, she did convince me to buy one, and I have bought more since then. So in today's video, I'm going to be showing you all 10 of my Hoya that I have in my collection, and then I'm going to talk to you about care. So important with Hoya and, you know, plants in general. So without further ado, let's get into it. All right, here's the first one that I want to show you. This beauty right here is a Hoya Australis. I just love this plant so much. I love how mature it is. I love how large it is. It's just beautiful. I absolutely love it. And I bought it this way because I was looking for a more mature Hoya. This one has got some new growth here up top with the stems coming out. So this one will be just awesome to watch grow. But that's the Hoya Australis. Now the next two are actually the same species of Hoya. It's just funny how I ended up with two. So these two deserve a royal welcome. Dun, 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 dun. These two right here are actually Krimson Queens. This one I've had in my collection for longer, and this one is fairly new. They're both just beautiful. Definitely an infamous plant. I'm gonna set this one down. So this one was kind of funny how I ended up with it. So just recently, within the last month, I bought this and I saw it, and it was labeled a Hoya Carnosa tricolor. There we go. Hoya Carnosa tricolor. And at the time, I did not know that a tricolor and a Krimson Queen were the same thing. So I ended up with an extra Krimson Queen, but luckily it is just gorgeous. So I really don't mind. It's just funny. It's not that they misled me or anything. It's just another name for Krimson Queen. All right, so that was the Australis and the Krimson Queens. Alrighty, the next one I want to show you is not a Hoya Krimson Queen, but this one is a Hoya Crimson Princess. Oh my god, I love it so much. This one is my newest Hoya to my collection. Just a gorgeous plant. Take a look at the leaves up close. Hopefully that is focusing just okay. It is beautiful. It's different than the Krimson Queen. The white variegation on this, or kind of yellowy color I guess, is on the inside of the leaf, where on the Krimson Queen it's on the outside. So fun little fact right there. This one is perfect for sun stressing, and I will talk about sun stressing as we talk about the care requirements, specifically the light requirements. So here's that one. The next one I want to show you is actually my fastest growing Hoya. This one right here is a Hoya Pubicalyx. It's even starting to go downwards. It's got new leaves up here on top, here in the center, and here kind of at the bottom. I absolutely love it. This one is characterized by its splashes on the leaves. Hopefully you can see those okay. So yeah, I definitely love this one. It is just, yeah, amazing. The next one I want to show you is one of my favorites. It's definitely unique, and it's this right here. This is a Hoya compacta. Like I said, one of my favorites. It is just so unique. I love the way it grows downwards like this. This will eventually have longer vines, which is pretty exciting. This one tends to grow on the slower side, but you know what? I really don't care. This is definitely one of my favorites. All right, the next one I want to show you looks like a Crimson Princess, but here it is. This is a Hoya Australis Lisa. Definitely a beautiful plant. This one has had some sun stressing. I will show you up close. You can see here, hopefully that's focusing. It has got some nice pinkish red tinted leaves. And I'm so excited to continue sun stressing it so it'll get more like that. It's pretty cool. So, yep, this is the Hoya Australis Lisa. Alrighty, the next two that I want to show you are my trailing Hoya. So, the first one, got it right here. This is a Hoya Gracilis. Isn't it just beautiful? I love it. Now you might be saying, okay, that really doesn't trail all that much, but, and I would agree with you. This actually had a longer vine right on this side, but I was watering one day and it snagged my t-shirt, probably reaching up to say hello, and then the vine just ripped right off. Needless to say, I was very sad, but what are you gonna do? At the end of the day, there's nothing to be mad about or anything. I still love this one a lot. The next one I want to show you is the more recent purchase that I made. This right here is a Hoya I. I got this down at my favorite plant shop right down the street from me, Symbiop. And I bought it and they're like, it looks a little dull right now because it hadn't been in light for a little while. I guess like in shipping and unpacking and all that. So they said, just stick it under a light and it'll start to get that glow back, and it really has. It's really beautiful, and not only that, like, it's so cute. It's got these cute little leaves that look like pea pods, so it looks like a little pea plant. Anyway, this is the Hoya I. Right, that brings us to number 10, the last one in my collection, and that is right here. This is a Hoya Carnosa Vergata. And this was actually the first Hoya that I bought, the infamous Pothos upgrade, right? Yeah. Anyway, I really love this one. It's super cute. It's got some beautiful variegation. It's got white and pink on it. Just a beautiful plant. This one, I have to say, has grown very slowly. So hopefully when spring hits, it will just like go crazy. So anyway, yeah, this is the Hoya Carnosa Vergata, and the last one I'm going to show you today. Okay, so next we need to talk about caring for our Hoya. We have the plants, now what do we do with them? I have found that Hoya are very low maintenance plants. They're very easy to take care of. So hopefully that's some good motivation for you. So a good care routine with Hoya starts out with the soil that we use. All right, the soil is the basic foundation of the whole care that we give them. So Hoya need a well-draining soil mixture. So for me, what that entails is having some orchid bark mix, perlite, and potting soil mix. Okay. That has worked out very well for me, and I think that if you follow that, it's pretty good for you as well. All right, let's talk about light. Light is so essential for the health and well-being of our plants, especially Hoya. Now, some plants, including Hoya, are labeled as low light tolerant plants. This is great, right? It helps us, but that doesn't mean that they can survive without any light. All right, light is important, is what I'm trying to say. So I have my Hoya under grow lights right now. I have them under grow lights for 10 hours every day. However, I am starting to increase them so I can sun stress them. I brought up sun stressing earlier, and let's talk about it. So sun stressing, let me grab a plant. It's when you stick a Hoya, and this is unique to Hoya. Don't put your philodendron under here and do this, okay? It will burn that plant. But take your Hoya, like this one, and you put it under bright light for extended periods at a time. So plants need between 8 and 12 hours of light every day. Sun stressing would push that limit higher. So let's say you can push it up to 14 hours in a day. And what it's gonna do is it's gonna turn the leaves kind of a pinkish red color, sometimes even like pretty bright red. So I wanna show you this one, for example. Hopefully that's gonna focus. You can see the sun stressing that's happened already on this one. So I'm excited to do this. Now, some things to keep in mind. Make sure you increase the amount of light you give it slowly. You don't want to burn the plant. And again, you also want to make sure the light is a good distance above the plant. I'd say 12 inches, a foot is pretty good. Definitely don't want to get closer than 6 inches. You might burn your plants. All right, so this is just really cool. I love it, and I'm excited to do it with my plants. Hey, let's talk watering. Watering is essential for our plants, obviously. Now, the way we do it is the most important part. Okay, with Hoya, we need to make sure our Hoya are drying out between waterings. All right, pretty straightforward. Follow that and you should be good. Now, to help me when knowing when a plant needs to be watered, when it's dry, I use a moisture meter. My favorite tool by far, hands down. I rely on mine so much. I have not had a single plant die from overwatering, oversaturation, anything like that since using a moisture meter. All right, and another important part of my watering routine is to bottom water my Hoya. I have found that this works the best with them. I, again, have not overwatered or oversaturated or anything. That just doesn't really happen with bottom watering. What happens is the plant absorbs the right amount of water it needs, and not really anymore. I mean, I guess it's possible if you let it sit there for hours and hours and hours, but if you don't, like I let mine sit in water for 30 minutes and it does really well. Okay, so those are my key takeaways with watering. All right, next thing we're going to talk about is humidity. Yes, this is really important for our Hoya. The ideal humidity level we should be at is 45% or higher. Okay, pretty straightforward. How do you know what your humidity level is? Well, I use a humidity reader, and this tells me exactly what it is in my apartment right now. So it's currently sitting at 70%, which is a fairly decent number. This also tells me the temperature is 73 degrees. Something like this on Amazon will cost you like $10. Such a great tool to have. I also like to use a humidifier. So right now in this bedroom, like you might see it on the camera, like how kind of foggy it is in here. It's on pretty strong. I mean, that's why it was at 70%. But anyway, it's a very powerful tool. It's very convenient for me. I don't have to worry about any of those other methods that were just so time consuming. All right. So the most important thing that I want you to remember is to keep your humidity at 45% or higher. Okay, let's talk fertilizer. Fertilizer is so important. It is the feed we give our plants. So I should just mention that I am not currently fertilizing my Hoya. They're really not showing any signs of growth right now, which is pretty normal during winter season. So I will start to fertilize them again during growing season, which is spring and summer. Okay. One thing to keep in mind is that it's important to follow the suggested NPK ratio for the type of plant you have. So for Hoya, that would be 2-1-2 or 3-1-2, okay? So what is NPK? NPK is the amount of nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium in the fertilizer, okay? So some plants need more of one thing and less of another, all right? Pretty straightforward. Well, that is it for my care tips for Hoya. I hope that was easy to understand and made sense. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below in the comment section and I'd be happy to get back to you. I did bring out a friend one more time, this being my Hoya Pubicalyx. This one has grown the most under my care. I just love it so much. It's just such an amazing plant. One more time, it needs its spotlight. All right, that's gonna be it for today's video. If you liked it, and I hope you did, give it a thumbs up down below. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, then shame on you. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, hit that subscribe button, and then you'll get to be part of this gorgeous family, and you'll get notified of new content when it's available. All right? Thank you so much for watching, and everyone, take care.